So what I have forgotten in my excitement is to mention that we are dealing here Haumea, Sedna, and Lelea Ku Honua with dwarf planets. And some of them, they have extremely long periods of time. I don't have it in my head right now. I have to research it, but you can also research it. Like, especially like what I've just learned from a video that the Sedna-Uranus conjunction in the beginning here of the intellectual first air sign Gemini that happened the last time, like in the Neolithicum, when the people started to grow food instead of being hunters and gatherers. So we are dealing with enormous cycles here of endings and beginnings. Now, what I have not said also in the previous video about Lilia Kuhonua is that not only is she in the first firehouse, the leader, the general, the Ram, the Aries, going with the head through the wall, but she's also in the 7th house. And that I forgot to talk about, 7th house, equivalent to Libra. Here's Libra. And for more clarity, as I seem to jump around a little bit, let me go through the houses. So the first house, we have Mars. Mars isn't very well aspected. There is a not very precise sextile to Venus, and he is being diplomatic, but he also knows one can kill with kindness. You know, if you want to make a killing, you do whatever it takes, but you're still killing. But he's also attractive through Venus, and he makes Venus more attractive. He gives Venus power in the first house. And you see here this red thingy. This is he's conjunct. He's close enough to the sign rising that he's a decisive power at that particular time. And then now we have Haumea. Haumea also like the first, the mother of all, yeah. And she is now, it's like Inanna going into the underworld. She is like in Scorpio, it's kind of an underworld, especially with the I almost said the Pope. No, Pluto. P for Pope. Reset this. And so she's challenged. So then we have the second house, and I haven't talked about Dark Moon Lilith a little bit. Dark Moon Lilith always stands for rebellion. So second house is equivalent to Taurus. That's where we ground ourselves. Taurus is the first earth sign. That's our possessions. That's land back. And right now, it's not only land, but it's the fish ponds. It's the breakwater. So as we are making our point about protecting our Earth Mother, protecting the mother distributes evenly, need by need, yeah, not by privilege. I said that before. So there's the rebellion. We have to have a new understanding about land ownership, real estate, all that. It has to shift entirely. There is so much unused land around. We don't need and population reduction to save the earth. Not at all. It's a total misconception and brainwashing and luring us into wanting to make a killing, either ourselves or others, just in the name of saving the planet. Sorry, no, it's not working. So that is about the second house. Now we are making serious, rebellious inquiries of what living on the land actually means. And this, it also has a little bit a detective quality. You know, we're ready to go into the deepest, muddiest rabbit holes with that exploration of changing the plan. That's what's happening. Third house is empty. Third house is equivalent to first air sign, first intellectual sign, Gemini, that I call the reporter or the journalist. Doesn't matter that it is empty, because a lot of learning we are doing right now is remembering, tuning into the collective subconsciousness. We just have to close our eyes or stare holes into the space, for a little bit. And whatever answers is just coming. But for the now, for the present situation, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, now. This is so easy now. So that's why right now, third house, empty here, no problem. Fourth house. Here we have a lot of problems in the fourth house. But with Pluto in the fourth house, Pluto in the fourth house often signals a family history of hidden abuse, family secrets. You've heard about these rich families in Europe that because of inbreeding or what kind of unhealthy habits they were having, they had some offspring that they hid away in hideous situations and just hid what has been done to these children. And so all families have these secrets, we're not going to the police with that in the family. We keep it in the family. Yeah. And we don't want the daddy, brother, uncle, boyfriend, abuser go to jail. No, we don't want to do this. So we keep our mouths shut. All that is now coming up with Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius says, no, that's gone too far. And now we are going to unearth it and bring it all to light. See here in this wonderful 120-degree angle at the trine to Sedna and Uranus. Sedna actually being killed by her own father, and in a very gruesome way, to save his own life. It's an interesting story, yeah? And so then sextiles that we have here with Neptune, ocean god, also the dreamer, the big dreamer, and the one who is in charge for delusions and illusions, and the film industry is now getting a reality check by Saturn. And Saturn is just like a little bit distancing himself and going back into the ocean to see if he has left any treasures there. Is there any shells any pearls that he can still, dive for and bring out, and bring it into the springtime fiery realm of visual Aries. Fifth house is empty. Fifth house is equivalent to Leo. Let's put here. Fifth house, nothing there, because the fifth house is, where art is, and where also romance is, and also there is how we are making babies, not how we are raising them, just about the making. And but it doesn't matter, because we are living in a life and ever-changing artwork. Anyhow, says Venus here, because Venus is in Leo, and the fifth house is equivalent to Leo. And I talked about Leo before, the willingness and the ability, without stuttering and stammering like I do, to go into the limelight, and probably even with the stuttering and the stammering and the sweat pearls on the forehead because of the limelight. We are doing this. We are ready. So fifth house is empty because done already. Sixth house is so freaking important here. Because here, karmic aim right next to the moon in Pisces, coming from Virgo, materialistic sign, into the ocean where like ego is just melting away. And it's, like a lot of people do not like that too much, because, you have no ground under your feet, you're just floating. Okay, but get used to it. But as we are in service here, the mother, even though she's a little bit jealous of Venus here in the limelight with her perfect makeup, she's in service, and she is supporting the whole situation. Like, as we have now, for some time, we have the karmic aim in Pisces, directing our intention to all waters, inside and outside of ourselves, because, we permanently take water from outside and give it back outside. It just flows through us and flows through, I don't know where, maybe we are drinking some dolphin shishi. I don't know, it's possible. So, because it's always circulating, and that connects us. The water is actually the agent that connects us emotionally. And it's only through the emotional connection that we can have the intellectual, this is the intellectual science, the three, connection telepathically. The telepathic connection needs the emotions. And the emotions start with, as I have also heard in this fantastic video from, I will give you a link. I forgot the names right now. One is, it's a UK astrologer, Pam something, very famous. And another one that I've never heard of before, who is dealing with these small planets. And he talks about, it starts with eroticism. And also, I recently, in this synchronistic way, read some text from Rudolf Steiner about where the spiritualization of the physical, the animal-like, starts there, where it is going into where the feeling is going into the thinking realm instead of the physical realm and acted out. Yeah, like, rabbits, do it wherever. But no, where it fuels the imagination, the high ideal of the minne, the courtly love, before the so-called what they call exploitation, the exploration of the Americas. There was no racism. in Europe. Yeah, there was, and the noble women. I don't know about the serf women, but the noble women, some of them, they were adored. That wasn't about sex. That was about inspiration. That was about poetry, and all these things. So there it starts. Now Haumea is in this situation here in the first house. Now, okay, let's bring it up. We'll find there's mud and it's ugly and maybe it stinks, stale water, rotten, but there may be gold nuggets, there may be treasures, like from people who had died in the swamp because they couldn't handle. They just went in, and now anybody in the swamp, lucky to survive, maybe finds real treasures there. I mean, speaking metaphorically speaking of gold, yeah, not physically. I don't speak physically here. Okay, so now service, tremendously important. Yeah, all this service. The sixth house equivalent to Virgo here. Then seventh house, there, right, the seventh house being equivalent to Libra, partnership. There we have this flock of birds. Make your researches. Look what it means. If you can see this video, you can also find the meanings and of all these names that I mentioned here. Don't rely on me. I don't have the time to explain it all. Eighth house here. Ha ha ha. Eighth house equivalent to Scorpio. Eighth house is where we learn about occultism, about what's called magic. And let me tell you, I do not ever want to hear these terms, black magic and white magic, ever again, because this terminology already is harmful, selfish magic, where instead of enhancing life for us and everybody around us, we are depleting life around us to make ourselves bigger than we are. And that's an addiction. Yeah. And all the rivalry, all the competition, the capitalist competition. Yeah. Now the women, we are not only competing for men. No. We are competing for jobs, and we are competing with men for jobs. It's insane. And now we're supposed to go on the battlefield. Yeah, because we're all warriors, right? So all this happens here in the eighth house. We got to learn about this. It's out there. We can. Everything can be downloaded. You can learn about all about the gods and the demons, and it's for free. There's a huge library. Ninth house is empty. Ninth house is equivalent to Sagittarius. So right now, it's not about ideals at all. The ideal is already practical. It's this incredible, beautiful paradise of nature that surrounds us. It's there. So ideals are right now not needed. Now I talked about the 10th house, the mission. Jupiter is there, well aspected here through the rebellion of Lilith, bringing his case for the mother, bring across, and here from the moon. This is this works, yeah. So there's opposition, there is criticism and, attacks. But it's always, when you go into the public with anything, that happens. But Jupiter is grand. It's a big planet. It's generous. The planet of luck, I talked about it before. 11th house, the collective, tremendously important. equivalent to Aquarius. And then the 12th house. 12th house is equivalent to Pisces. And there is a fine trine to Jupiter. Sorry, not trine. It's a sextile, 60 degree. Now, 60 degree angle, this is something we have to act on. Things don't happen by itself. We have to know what we're doing, and when we act on it, then they become positive. Otherwise, they're like just not there. Different from trine. Trine just makes us feel good no matter what. But otherwise, Sun is not very, very well aspected. And being in the 12th house, which is equivalent to Pisces, 12th house, Pisces, that is, we are still processing karma. We're not quite done yet. I don't have the image of the eclipse, the next eclipse, next new moon in my head, how it's going to change. But right now, it's still about karma. And it's about the karma of materialism, the karma of borders, fences, and whose apples are those that are falling from the trees? And who is entitled to eat the mangoes, and who's entitled to give the mangoes to some rich person's livestock? All these questions. Yeah, we are still battling with that, and that's karma, and it's gonna be overcome pretty soon. So don't fret, okay? And now I'm saying something I've never ever said in any video before. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like my videos. If you don't understand anything, even if you want to criticize me, please leave me a comment. All these people that they are so perfect and beautiful, they always say that. I never say that. I expect it to happen by itself. But do me a favor, do that for me. You help me a lot. And so then I can help you better if you want help from me. Okay, so much for now.